Hello, guys. Welcome back to Real Reds Talk, the #1 independent fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. Not much to get into today. Relatively quiet on the United front. I mean, we're basically scraping the barrel for news at this point. I'm joking. We've got the lads to discuss the giant interview that broke last night with Cristiano, Ronaldo, and Piers Morgan. We're going to go through each quote with a fine-tooth comb and get the lads' reaction to it live right now because we haven't had a chance to speak to it because obviously it broke about 10 o'clock. Ronaldo has 5 Ballon d'Ors. We have 5 members on the show today: Sam, Adam, Severe, and Aaron. To avoid the kind of clashes of audio, which always happens, I'm just going to ask how he is doing in a minute, and then I just want a thumbs up or a thumbs down. So 1, 2, 3, how he is doing. Fucking depressing. Fuck me. Right. Perfect. Don't forget you can subscribe to our wonderful YouTube channel by clicking the red button in the bottom right hand corner of your screen. And if you would like to donate to our Movember campaign, the link is in our Instagram bio. I want to dive straight into this, lads, because there's quite a few things to get into. The first standout quote is about the manager, Erik ten Hag. And Ronaldo says, "I don't have respect for him because he doesn't show respect for me. If you don't have respect for me, I will never have any for you." Some vibes of Aretha Franklin there with the RESPECT. A lot of respects being thrown out there. Give us your initial reaction, Sam, when you first saw that.
In context, like if you isolate it, that's a horrible, disgraceful thing to say in an interview about your manager. If you isolate it in just that quote, I don't believe in any time if you're playing for a team, unless the manager's done some utterly horrendous here, which I don't believe Ten Hag has at any point. You should not be talking about that about your manager. In any other walk of life, if you spoke about that about your boss, you're fucking fired. It's over. I'm sure we're going to get into the rest of the quotes. There's some quotes that I agree with. This is definitely not one of them. Ten Hag has come in. He's been here less than 6 months. He's trying to develop a team. He's trying to develop an ethos, confidence, and stuff like that. Does not deserve. He's probably one of the only people who doesn't deserve to be chucked under the bus. A lot of other people deserve to be chucked under the bus. Ten Hag's not one of them, and it's highly He doesn't respect Ten Hag. He doesn't respect it. Like, what are we, fucking children? This is not petty schoolyard shit. I don't respect things. You don't respect me, mate. You didn't show up for pre-season training. If you reveal what you said it was about your child, if that's true, fair enough. Totally understood. That's fine. But then he's given you opportunities. You've played, he played 10 games?
Yeah.
So he's played 10 games. He's had opportunities. He's played full minutes. So I don't understand how Ten Hag's disrespected him. You walked off the pitch at Spurs. Like, you're the one who's disrespecting the manager, if anything. He hasn't done anything to disrespect you. He's treated you with respect. When he came in, he spoke about he wants you in the team. You got goals. He's played you, despite the fact that you weren't available for pre-season. He's played you. So I don't understand how he's disrespecting him. So it's just, that's a nonsensical comment for Ronaldo. I don't think Ten Hag is one of the only people who's not disrespected him. Other people, fair enough, he's got a point, but Ten Hag, there's no need for chucking him under the bus like that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Adam, I'll come to you next on this. As far as I'm aware, Ronaldo's the one who's been disrespecting Ten Hag. Sam mentioned the Spurs game there where he walked out. He wanted to play him, wanted to bring him on as a sub. Ronaldo didn't accept that. Ronaldo walked off. He wasn't available for the Fulham game and the one before that, I believe, partially because he was giving an interview with that cretin, Piers Morgan. So that's why he couldn't play. And there's been a few little other things as well. Has there been any examples at all that you can think of since Ten Hag has come in where he's disrespected Ronaldo? Because I can't think of any.
Yeah, genuinely I can't, because obviously he would have given the reason for not being available during pre-season, and that's fair enough, the reason that he's given in the interview that we've heard. But he's come back, and I don't know whether he's expected to just walk into the team right away. I think I remember at the time there was a news report saying, Ten Hag is having crunch talks with Ronaldo to see what his ideas going into the season are. And for me, you don't just walk back into the team. The team are developing a new style of football. They're kind of more used to that. You can't just throw someone in who's not used to this. It's like putting the wrong piece of the puzzle into a puzzle, missing a piece. So he just didn't fit into it right there and then. He needed to work on it and then work his way into the team like any other player. He treated him like exactly like every other player, which is the way you should. And that's being respectful, not just above everyone else, but it's being respectful to Ronaldo too. You're not above anyone else, and you're not bigger than the club. But then his form as well hasn't been great, and the manager has given him time. He's brought him on here and there as a sub. He's given him starts as well, and just was it in the Villa game that we lost? He gave him the captaincy, and all he's got this season is one Premier League goal from open play.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And I think the big hypocritical thing now for him saying that about Ten Hag disrespecting him is he's disrespecting Ten Hag, the squad, and the fans by conducting that interview and lying saying you're ill on the Thursday when the interview was on the Friday. And then you're not available for the Thursday game or the game against Fulham there last weekend. That says everything. So you're able to do 90 minutes in an interview. Perfectly fine. Your voice sounds fine. What illness prevents you from actually doing that, but being able to conduct a 90-minute interview? That's what really shows for me him treating the club, the manager, with disrespect. And I genuinely think the manager has dealt with this exceptional. I don't think he could have dealt with it any better. So it's just all down to him. And he's made his bed and he has to lay in it now. And I think it's him done. And I hope
there seems to be lack of clarity in terms of a lot of things that are going on behind closed doors. We're only going off what we're hearing from like journalists and what Ronaldo's actually saying from his mouth. Ten Hag likes to keep a lot of these kind of incidents behind closed doors and deal a bit like that. Ronaldo's obviously torn that up and said, "Fuck you, I'm going to do this." Give us your thoughts on that first initial quote, if you can, please.
Me, what I understand by the respect comments is basically him saying he doesn't get to do what he wants. This is what Ronaldo is complaining about, basically. And because he's not getting his way, basically. He's not getting preferential treatment. And he's literally seen that as, because he comes in, Ten Hag says he hasn't had a preseason. We all know how Ten Hag is. It's very, very big on having a preseason for all his players. Everybody had to wait their chance. The only person who got an immediate game time was Anthony, and that's because Anthony had already been playing with Ajax before he came in. So Anthony was the only one who walked in. It's you guys have already said everything. Like in terms of the whole respect thing, like he's the one that has been very disrespectful. He tells us 2 days before we leave for preseason that he wants to have a new team, that he wants to leave, and then he throws all our plans in disarray. Regardless, I'm so pissed off that I don't really have the composure to fully articulate myself regarding this respect. You guys have touched on it. It's just annoying, and that we have to go through this level of petulance from a man who's almost 40 years old. And what's happening is reality is catching up to him, and he's literally just lashing out. Mark Ogden from ESPN says is desperate.
Severe doesn't like Mark Ogden.
Yeah, but this I know, but I had to agree with him on this occasion. It's just desperate. He's basically trying to save face. This is what's happening with Ronaldo, and he's throwing everything, throwing the kitchen sink at it. But yeah, just next question, man.
Are you ready to go through it? Ready to go through with it? Aaron, you can throw your thoughts on that single quote as well if you want to. I want to read through a few more and then get your thoughts on these as well. Ronaldo got asked about if he was being forced out. He said, yes, not only the coach, but another 2 or 3 guys around. I felt betrayed, and people should listen to the truth. Yes, I feel betrayed, and I felt that some people didn't want me here, not just this year, but last year too. I think the fans should know the truth. I want the best for the club. This is why I come to United. But you have some things inside the club that don't help reach the top level as City, Liverpool, and even now Arsenal. Give us your reaction to them, please, if you can, Aaron.
That I can kind of agree with a bit more. Maybe not the people wanting to get him out. Kind of feel like trying to save face a bit, but with where we're not up to, obviously Liverpool and City, we all know that. We've all been saying it for years that obviously we're not doing things right. But to go back to the disrespect, mate, you're walking out on your teammates. I don't think there's a bigger disrespect you can have as a player. It's a team game. It's not individual. I don't know, man. I just feel now he knows that he ain't got a future at United. He knows that he's probably not in Ten Hag's plans, and he's just feels like he's trying to make it on his terms now. Like it's him that's not wanted to stay. I don't know. I think everyone else already touched on it really, but I don't know. I just think he's got to go now. There's no way back. Like, he's talking about disrespect. Ten Hag was bigging him up and saying, "Oh yeah, I can't wait to work with him. He's still world class. He's still in my plans." He gave him the time. Like, and
Is that not a political answer though, with Ten Hag saying that? Because he's not going to come out and scrutinise Ronaldo straight off the bat, is he?
Yeah, but even so, look at the difference. Like, maybe if he's not in his plans, he's still bigging him up in a press conference. He's not gone on to fucking Piers Morgan show talking shit about it. You know what I mean? It's like, give the same respect he gave to you then, even if he didn't mean it, even if he was telling you behind closed doors, yeah, you know, you can go if you want. But he's still giving you a good image in the public light. But he's throwing Ten Hag under the bus first chance he gets.
Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, it's fine. Go on.
I would say I'm actually quite surprised the reaction from you guys in particular. Like, obviously, I didn't expect a certain thing, but I thought, or maybe I did. I thought maybe there'd be a bit more lenience towards Cristiano in terms of what he said in regards to like the way the club is with the owners and stuff like that.
If you would get onto the other quotes, there's agreements that I have.
Yeah, I'm the same.
But this quote in particular, not a chance. No.
Can I just add, yeah? Like, you all know, I've backed Ronaldo like in times where you have probably thought, oh no, he's clutching at straws to back him now. But it's like, come on, man, you can't come back from this. It's a total disrespect for me. It's not just disrespecting Ten Hag, it's disrespecting us. We're at a stage now where we need the concentration to be on the team, the football, the positivity, because we're in a rebuilding stage. But you think the fans are going to pick a 38-year-old that we're probably going to get another 6 months out of if he does stay, or a manager that we want over long term who's going to change the future of the club?
Well,
it's fucking stupid.
I'm glad you said that bit. So yeah, I'll get on to you in a second. Just let me get through these quotes and then I'll let you say your piece on that as well. Just in regards to what you said there, Aaron, Ronaldo said, "I love Manchester United. I love the fans, but they're always on my side. If they want to do it different, they have to change many things. Nothing has changed at United. Only the jacuzzi, the pool, even the gym, even some points of technology, the kitchen, the chefs, who I appreciate, lovely people. I thought I would see different things, technology, infrastructure. As Picasso said, you have to destroy it to rebuild it. And if they start with me, for me, it's not a problem." Sam, I'll come to you in a sec as well. I just wanted to direct this one to Severe first of all. Are we not destroying and rebuilding under Eric Ten Hag now, Severe? That's why he's been out of the squad, because he doesn't fit the vision. It seems like he's kind of the architect of his own downfall here.
Exactly. We're under a rebuild now, and I think he realizes that he's not part of the team. He's not part of the future, and this is why he's lashing out. On if we're going to pick on the quotes he made about Old Trafford, anyone who's been to Old Trafford in the past 10 years knows that nothing has changed. We've been going there. It's the same old thing. Like, nothing has changed. This isn't news to us. Yes, we're not happy about it, but then, of course, but this isn't news. He's using that as a crutch to sort of get the fans on his side, to sort of have people to agree with him. Yes, it's clear. Like, there's so many things wrong with the club. So many things, but you don't go out and air it out on a platform like that with Piers Morgan in the sun, saying that, like, that's not anything that nobody knows already. Like, the Old Trafford is leaking. There's parts of the stadium that's been leaking. We've been going there for how long? We know this. So it's not like there's nothing new when he's talking about all the facilities and all that. He's just being bitter and lashing out, like, you know, like a little kid. Now, in terms of referring to the quotes, he says some people are trying to force him out. He's been here for 2 years, right? How is it possible that we're trying to force him out, but he's the one who was looking for a move? Like, it was no secret that George Mendes was looking for a move for this guy throughout last summer. We only brought him in the summer before. So how are we trying to force? We've brought you in and we're giving you almost £500,000 a week, but yet we're trying to force you out. You don't fit into the plans, mate, and that's just the truth.
Sam, you've been relatively solid on your stance with Cristiano Ronaldo. Every time I've asked you a question on him on the show, you've stood your ground. You said he's finished, he needs to leave, etc., etc. Interesting. I want to get into this a little bit. Mark Goldbridge on the United stand was very pro Ronaldo on this situation, and I want to get your thoughts on it. Because it feels like this fan thing, the quotes that I've just gone through there, it's like Severe was alluding to, is a PR spin to not make him look as bad for going to Piers Morgan and doing this interview and working with his son and all this kind of stuff. Where's your opinion lie with that?
I mean, Mark Goldbridge is a clown, so that's my opinion on Mark Goldbridge.
I second that.
Hold on 1 second. Someone, wait. There's someone who supports Ronaldo on this thing.
Yeah, Mark Goldbridge does.
Yeah. He was pro Ronaldo. He was like, well, this is a Glazer out thing. That's how he was branding it.
Is
It's
he
a
still
Glazer out
backing him
thing.
now?
Yeah. Like the thing,
Like
he
now?
he literally did a morning show this morning that I watched, and he said, this is yes, the things he said about Ten Hag and Rooney or Ragnick. No, the thing about Ten Hag and Ragnick I disagree with, but everything else I agree with pretty much. And this is a Glazer out thing. He's highlighting the issues at the club. I don't see what's wrong with it, etc., etc. So I wanted to get Sam's specific. Yeah, Sam, hit me up.
I mean, yeah, you know my thoughts on Mark Goldbridge. I don't know whether he's playing a character, because I know Mark Goldbridge is not his real name anyway. So I don't know if this is the character he plays for the sake of his channel, because he is quite a brash, cringy individual, and this is the character he plays. I'm not sure if that's what's happening there, or he genuinely feels that way. I don't know which way it is, but either way, I'm not a fan of it. So I don't respect his opinion whatsoever. With the stuff Ronaldo said, like Severe said, we all know this. We all know Old Trafford's falling apart and it's a leaky, rusty piece of crap that needs updating and has done for the last 10, 15 years. The training ground's the same. The training ground, like Ronaldo says, needs updating. It needs investment. Like, what did Leicester spend? Was it £8 million or something on their training ground to get it state of the art?
You go for Harry Maguire.
Yeah, there you go. So I think it was like 15 years ago, we had the state-of-the-art training complex and no investment has been made since that point. So we know this. And yeah, to a point, I think there is truth in Severe's statement, the fact that he's then using that to back his argument up on the other stuff, which is completely wrong and disgusting. Like, we'll get onto the Rooney comment, which I think is the most egregious one that he said. So I think, yeah, he's using that as like a shield to sneak through all these other comments. And I think if you would have came out and the interview would have just been, look, I think the club's being run badly. I think the investment's needed. I think players are needed. I think training ground, blah, blah, blah. But then the other stuff, he apologised for walking out at Spurs and spoke about his daughter, what happened in pre-season. That's the reason he missed pre-season. If he said it like that, I don't think many fans would have an issue. I think a lot of fans would be like, okay, understand. He's got grievances, and then he put a spotlight and he put pressure on the Glazers to change something. But because he's chucked all this other stuff in, it's undermined his argument. If that was his point, it's just fucked his argument totally. And then the choice of outlet as well. Could you have picked two worst outlets to go with? Like, honest to God, like if I was thinking,
controversial ones.
If I was thinking, right, what would be the worst interviewer possible? Piers Morgan, the sweaty, gammon-faced cunt that he is, like, worst person. And then the most disreputable, and I use the term newspaper loosely because it's fucking not a newspaper, in the entire UK, The Sun. He is an outlet to that. Like, you've just lost all credibility whatsoever. Even if your arguments were flawed, you've lost all credibility by your outlet. Like, it's just utter insanity. Like, I don't know who his publicist is, but they need to be fucking fired immediately for that decision. That is utter insane. Like, but
thing is, as well, you have to question his motives as well. Piers Morgan's an Arsenal fan who's doing this, and he probably knows doing.
They're friends, aren't they? And he's done interviews before with him, and
yeah.
It's
because Piers Morgan kisses his ass 24/7 and goes on like it's his fucking best mate.
Piers Morgan kisses anyone's ass who's willing to appear on his show, doesn't he? Like, he's just fucking. That's who he is. He's a guy who's.
He's taking a break from tapping phones.
Yeah, dead girls' phones, murdered the girls' phones, and a guy who's on Britain's Got Talent while having no discernible fucking talent in the. Yeah. I can see.
As much as I agree with you, I don't want to make it the Piers Morgan show. I do agree with you, though. I must strongly stand on that. Absolutely. Adam, I want to play devil's advocate slightly on this a little bit, so don't come at me, other people who are like, what do you mean? do we need to be slightly cautious with this 90-minute interview coming out on Wednesday? Because we've only seen little snippets of it, of what they've wanted to put out. Is there anything you think could come out in that interview? 90 minutes is a long time. I saw a joke that it's his first 90 minutes this
The
season.
best 90 minutes of our whole season.
But yeah, do we need to be cautious, or are you not worried at all about what could potentially come out from that interview?
Well, personally, as a fan, I wouldn't be that concerned, but as a member of the board for Manchester United, I'd be shitting myself.
Yeah.
I think they're about to be exposed very, very badly, and I think tonight Piers Morgan actually tweeted that they're going to be releasing something like a clip of him discussing about the Glazers. Yeah, that's going to be the big one, and that might set the tone. I think fans might kind of like, be a bit more light on him for hearing what he has to say. If he says the right things, I joked in the chat, maybe he'll say, "Oh, they want us to be successful on the pitch, and that's why they're putting all the money into the squad, whatever." And then we're like, "But they're not putting any money in at all." That's our side of the argument too. Well, I don't think we need to be overly concerned about what's going to come out. The stuff that's going to come out is stuff that we know as well. I think he might. If it's 90 minutes, I'm trying to think, what can he talk about for 90 minutes?
That's what I mean.
Shorty, I think Maguire is going to get brought up.
I think it's 2 90-minute because it's Wednesday and Thursday. So I think it's actually...
Yeah, it's 2 days.
It's two.
I thought it was 45, is it not? It's 2 90 minutes.
I think it's two. It's 2 1-hour.
Okay, now.
Videos, yeah. So Wednesday and Thursday.
Wow, that is going to be a lot of quotes and content coming out of that. Yeah, Jesus Christ. And you can tell it's premeditated, like everything, and he's just timing of it. I remember, obviously, he said it, didn't he? Was it like early August? He said, "Oh, you'll see in a couple of weeks' time." Didn't obviously drop it in September for whatever reason. Saw he was going to Qatar and thought, right, this is my way out now. This is just boom, I'm going to drop this. They'll have to terminate my contract. Yeah. I can move on, and United can move on. That's certainly how it seems. There's a couple of quotes from Sir Alex Ferguson, Surveyor, I want to get on and then get your thoughts on them as well. He said, since Sir Alex left, I saw no evolution in the club. Nothing had changed. I followed my heart. Sir Alex Ferguson, said to me, it's impossible for you to go to Manchester City. And I said, okay, boss. Sir Alex Ferguson knows better than anybody that the club is not on the path they deserve to be. He knows, everyone knows. The people who don't see that, it's because they don't want to see. They are blind. Here's a question for you, Surveyor. Does he tarnish his legacy more by going to City and winning the Premier League, or doing an interview with the Sun newspaper and Piers Morgan?
I'm definitely not the one to ask that question because I've never really rated Ronaldo since he left.
He's defo slipped down your GOAT list. He's not even number 4.
He's a fucking cow at this point.
Every day he's just going like this, just going down the list.
So honestly, I'm not the one to ask because I didn't care. Like I would have preferred if he went to City because then they wouldn't have got like Erling Haaland or whatever. I don't know. Like someone else should answer this.
But do you think he would have been successful? I'll ask it to the group. Do you think he would have been successful if he went to Man City?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think in that first season he still had, he still scored like 18 goals. I think Pep Guardiola would have been able to implement him. Yeah, I mean, City have players all around like whizzing about. He would have had chances galore. And I think he would have been more of a success at City than he was at United. Even though he had personal success at United, he didn't benefit the team. And this is what has been Ronaldo's MO since he left Real Madrid. He went to Juventus, and it was all about him. And that was the decline of Paulo Dybala. That was when they never proceeded out of the second round in the Champions League. When he left, they were fourth. They finished fourth in the season when he left Juventus. So it's like, it's ridiculous. Anyway, go on. Sorry, I got carried away there.
No, it's all right. Anyone else wanted to jump into that before we move on to the quotes on Rangnick and Bruna, in regards to the move to City and stuff?
Well, one name pops up, like who's gone to City, maybe hasn't been successful, was Peter Schmeichel, and I know you two boys don't necessarily like him that much, but many fans do still see him as a legend and probably our best keeper to play at the club. So there's that side of it too. Time kind of heals those scars in a way.
Tevez, do you feel healed by Carlos Tevez? Because I fucking don't.
Nah.
Like that's never
But to
been
be fair,
healed.
he
That
put up
fucking...
a sign.
Yeah. So
He
like...
put up that RIP Fergie.
Also, Schmeichel did
player.
a cartwheel in front of the fucking away end, like when City scored, so you can fuck off for that.
Bro, yeah, Dwight York and Andy Cole played for City.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyone who plays for City, I don't give a fuck. Hargreaves played one game or
Oh,
something.
and Hargreaves.
Bitch. Fuck him. Yeah, let's jump on to the Ragnick and the Rooney ones, because these are super interesting. These are the ones that surprised me a little bit. A few more shots were sent on them. And I just had a vision of Ragnick dipping his shortbread in his brew or something, and then seeing his quotes from Ronaldo, like, what the fuck, man? What have I done?
What have I
Get
done?
it,
Yeah,
get it
what have I
right.
done?
You mean he's Viennese world? He's Austrian. Isn't he?
Viennese world, yeah. Sorry, Ralph. So yeah, on Ralph Ragnick, Ronaldo said, if you're not even a manager, how are you going to be the boss of Manchester United? I've never even heard of him. Aaron, thoughts on that, mate?
I want to say I agree with him, but not on the last part of I hadn't even heard of you. For me, Ranić should have. That whole thing was handled so bad. Like when we brought Ranić in, we should have had a permanent manager, and Ranić should have gone upstairs straight away, which he had been doing. It's probably his best role as a manager. I know he did well with Schalke, but his involvement with like the Leipzig and the Red Bull group was obviously real good work. I mean, he's basically put them on the map. He's put the blueprint for them.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen it with the people he suggested in January to bring in. He's got a good footballing brain, a good eye for talent. So I think he should have gone upstairs. But to say I've never heard of you, I mean, come on, man. The guy's just trying to disrespect everybody.
He's just slinging out shots I don't know if you've seen the reel I put out today with all the bow and arrows just fucking hitting everyone.
He's just literally lined everyone up and spraying everyone.
Yeah. Because someone like Ragnick, Sam, I think it is a stupid quote because he's got a very, very good reputation in world football.
Yeah, that's one thing I missed out. Like you look at I can't think of his name. Tuchel. You think of Klopp. Yeah. They all like look at him as the godfather of football. So just that's what I mean. Like to say that it's kind of just pure ignorance.
Yeah. Do you agree with Aaron though, Sam, on the appointment of Ralph Ragnick? Where did you stand with that when you heard he was coming in as interim, then he was going upstairs? Was you happy with the appointment, or was you worried at the time?
I was intrigued because obviously of the guy's footballing brain, his knowledge, his eye for recruiting talent, like Aaron said. I thought he would be given a lot more power than he was given. Like he was literally just came in and they literally just said to him, "Oh, put those cones out over there and pick the team." That was pretty much all the power he was given. He wasn't allowed to.
Bearing in mind, we hired an interim manager in November. Yeah. That in itself is pretty shocking.
Yeah. So like, it didn't give him any power. He asked to buy players in January. I think he asked to buy like Nkunku. Who else he asked to buy? Tuchemeni.
Alvarez.
Vlahovic. You've seen what they're doing. Like they're doing bits. So. Yeah. He obviously has an eye for talent, this guy, and he wasn't allowed to buy anybody in January to improve our situation, which was fucking horrific, like last season, absolutely ridiculous. So the guy is good, but he wasn't given any power. The board the board was going through a transition as well. Like Ed Woodward was stepping down, but he wasn't really. He was supposed to go in December, but then he was staying up. Like there was all this shite going on up above him, so it was just a mess. And then he ended up not going upstairs, which is the one job that, like Aaron said, he'd be actually good at and would be worth the money that he was paid to do. They just let him go. It was just handled shit. The team didn't respect him because they knew he wasn't going to be there longer than the end of the season. There's certain players who were still there that I still don't trust, and I still think will try and chuck Ten Hag under the bus at some point when it goes wrong. So the whole situation was just awful, and I don't blame Ragnick in any way. It's not his fault.
You're going to take the job.
Yeah, if United comes calling, you're going to take it regardless of the situation. So,
but in hindsight, was it obviously the wrong decision that we made bringing Ragnick in as an interim?
If you brought him in and he was given power to buy players and scout and recruit and then put things upstairs and implement things and then move to that recruitment position, then it's not a mistake. But they didn't do any of that. They didn't lay any groundwork, didn't do any of that stuff. So he was left with a broken team, a team that didn't respect him, a team that didn't give a shit, and that's what happened last season. The Rooney comment is the one that I'm really sort of interested in.
We're gonna get to that in a minute. Surveyor, did you want to add something on then?
Yeah, I wanted to add something. I still think the Ragnick appointment was the right move at the time, because we were hiring him as an interim because we wanted to get a permanent manager in the summer. So it was one of those things where we kind of had written off the season at that point, and we're looking towards the future. And we're going to get a guy who would come in, understand the team, and be part of the transition, so that when the new manager comes in, he can sort of say, well, this is what I've gone through. This is what, where the team is lacking. They would work together to sort of then get new players to build the team, because that's what he does. So for me, that was a very, very, that was a very smart appointment to make. There was no top manager available at the time that would come in to take the reins at Man United. The two people we wanted then, from then, it was Eric Ten Hag, because we started hearing the news early on, and Mauricio Pochettino, and there was no way we could prize them away from PSG or Ajax. The only way that was going to happen was to wait until the summer, and there's no point hiring a manager, like a proper manager, a permanent manager, to come in and then sack him off. So why don't we wait right up the season, get someone who would come in, who has previous experience in managing the team, just steady the ship until we get a proper captain of the ship. And then, and then the only bad decision with the whole Ragnick thing was not keeping him to actually do his job. It was then selling him off, let him leave, falling out with him, let him leave, and not actually having him to actually do what he's actually best at. So I'm all for the Ragnick thing. And in hindsight, like you said, at the end of the day, look what we've ended up with. We could have ended up. Remember, Nick, you and I really wanted Conte. Do you remember?
I was literally just about to mention that then, when in that period, that international window.
Yeah, exactly. We kept saying it. We were like, oh, we missed out on Conte. Look what happened now. Now we ended up with the best possible option that we could have ever wanted ever since. So everything happens for a reason. I don't look at the Ragnick years as we regret or anything. It was the best thing that happened, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think that's a very good point. Just a conspiracy here, Adam. Maybe Ronaldo got wind that Ragnick wanted him gone as well, because that was something that Ragnick said whilst he was there, or there was reports surrounding that he wanted to axe kind of Ronaldo from the squad, and the board wouldn't back it at the time because he was an interim manager. Do you think there's any credit to that?
Well, you know what? I would have given him what he wanted, to leave the club anyway, and here he is bad-mouthing them anyways, and he wasn't kept around anyway. It was the club's decision. But just on the overall thing, I think it's just pure disrespectful as well. It doesn't matter who comes in, who's your manager. You listen to your boss, you do, and you act professional. You don't come out speaking bad about them. I don't know how it's all come out, because United are usually tight-lipped about all these sort of things anyway, signing non-disclosure forms and everything, especially on managers who have left. So I don't know how someone current has come out and done it. It's mad for me. But I think the appointment of him was the right decision at the right time. And then to go in, work with the next manager. And he was then going to give the next manager a squad kind of report. And as you said, I think Ronaldo was on that. You need to get a striker. And that's what he was aiming for last January as well, when he was the manager. But the board didn't deliver that. And they didn't deliver over the summer as well. And let's be honest, we were in for a striker. All the links were there for Darwin Núñez as well, the kind of one that got away. May have dodged a bullet there, but I think he will become good anyway for them. Yeah.
Also, Adam, sorry to interrupt you, but like our best performing short and TikTok is a clip Nick edited of Ragnick going through all the list of problems that we need to do, saying we need to sign 10 players. He's fucking right. He was like right on every single point that he said. Every single point has been proven correct. So like, I don't understand how it was a mistake. He's revealed all, and it's all been true. So,
and he said you can get it done in. Go on. He said you can get it done in 2 or 3 transfer windows as well. Yeah. And how many players did we sign there? Was it 5, 6? And all of them being an absolute hit. So when you do your job right, And we've usually had a lot of misses, let's be honest, in the last 10 years. But it seems like we have a man who actually, buys players for the system and not for the name on the back. And just one more point about Ragnick anyway, and to move on from it. If he had stayed in, obviously he's known for building clubs up anyway. And more than likely, at the Lynx at the time, we would have got Paul Mitchell in with him as well, who's one of the best, has one of the best eyes for talent in probably Europe, if I'm being honest.
Yep.
Adam, I can only
get
so erect. Like, don't tease me, man. Don't tease me.
Jesus Christ, man. Fucking hell.
That could have been.
Children could watch this, Sam. Fucking hell.
We got to learn someday.
Yeah.
Wow.
Adam, go on, finish up.
I just said the future.
Finish Sam off.
Oh God.
I'm not Luke Shaw. Don't look at me like I'm Luke Shaw, Adam.
Can we please save this for the end of the show? Please. Because we've got a few more quotes to get into. We've got the reaction from United side, and then a summary from you lot.
I apologize. I apologize.
Yeah,
Sorry.
everyone in the chat spam Sam. Say Sam, fuck off. Adam, sorry, did you want to finish off your sentence?
Yeah. It's just a future that we could have had. I know we're getting there now, but I think we should have had the best of the best working at the club right now.
What set you off
sorry.
there?
Sorry. No, I'm good. Go on.
I don't even know what that one was.
I'm just saying it could have been something that we had in the future. Yeah. Have the best of the best working, one of the best eyes for talent in Europe, because it's quite obvious our scouting department is lacking really, really badly, especially when they have 700 other right backs behind Wan-Bissaka.
Is it 700? I thought.
I think it was 700.
It was like 830, wasn't it?
830.
With Wan-Bissaka.
A couple of hundred anyway. I don't know how. Yeah. Anyone could have been better.
And also,
Phil Jones are right back.
Severe had that point as well. That last summer where Jadon Sancho, Rafael Varane, Ronaldo. It's like no scouting's going on there. Like, no one was fucking scouting these players. Like, who's going, I've watched this player, he's playing for Real Madrid. He looks like a real fucking good talent. He's called Rafael Varane. Yeah. Don't know if you heard of him. But yeah, looks really, really good. Like, come on.
Well, now with Eric Ten Hag, they've got a sporting director and a coach all wrapped in one. Yeah, because he's the one deciding the players now, isn't it, by the looks of it, and he's absolutely smashing it. So, fair play to Ten Hag. He's taking on a lot at the minute. I want to move on to the all-famous Wayne Rooney quotes. I've got one of them, but I couldn't find the other one, Sam, in regards to his appearance or something, was it?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Couldn't find the quote anyway.
Do the first one.
Yeah. If you grab that quote for us. So the first one, it says, on Rooney, I don't know why he criticises me so much, probably because he's finished his career and I'm still playing at the top level. I don't know if you've seen both the quotes, Aaron, from this, but does it warrant an insult to Wayne Rooney? Like, do you think he's just kind of spitting out his dummy there a bit, Ronaldo?
Talking about a guy that's retired, yeah. Obviously, he's got out of shape, and you can talk about the man that's been compared to Shrek, like in appearance.
Oh, here it is. He said, he said, it's probably because he's retired and I'm still playing. I could say that I'm better looking than him because I am.
And that's a legit quote.
That's the quote.
I didn't see the video of that.
That's the quote.
That is like.
That's petty, man. That's like a school kid. It's just like, I'm better looking than you. Like, what the like, you're 37, dude. Like, what are you doing? Like,
is the delivery? He says, I could say that I'm better looking than you, but that's the truth.
Yeah, you've already said it, mate. I could say he's a fat prick and I don't like him, but I'm not going to say that. It's kind of like, defeats the point, mate. You know what I mean?
It's very Donald Trump, innit? So you remember, he used to do shit like that. He'd go, I could call Hillary crooked Hillary, but I'm not going to do that. And it's just like, but you just fucking did. Man. Like, it's so petty.
Himself to like fucking Wayne Rooney, man. He's not a looker anyway. You know what I mean? It's like.
But talent-wise, obviously Rooney was fucking phenomenal. It's just I think it's an important message. Everyone keep taking the vitamins. That's what I would advise. I think that's the one thing we can take out of this. If you want to look like Ronaldo, keep taking your fucking vitamins. I don't think Gary Neville and Wayne Rooney are going to be on his Christmas card list this season. I think he's a bit.
That's another thing, isn't it?
You mentioned Gary Neville.
That's a weird thing, isn't it?
He's going to say.
like the stuff he's been doing where he's not
Ronaldo
shaking
probably-
certain hands and stuff.
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
fucking petty, man. Like
He's
just-
getting very petty at this point, isn't it? A lot of the shit that's
Yeah.
coming, like the non-shaking hands and stuff. Just like, mate, you're one of the greatest footballers on the planet. What are you doing? It's playground
I
shit. What are you doing?
I don't like you, so I'm not shaking your hand. But
That's what I mean.
Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be worried. I wouldn't be worried if I wasn't on Cristiano Ronaldo's. I mean, he probably gives like the most boring Christmas presents. He probably sent you like.
It's a
like,
picture of him, innit?
boxes.
It's a picture of
Yeah.
him.
You understand?
That's
Yeah,
like-
it would be
that's
like
what
a-
he said,
it would be
yeah.
like a-
Got
it
your
would be like a
Ronaldo
Ronaldo-
Yeah.
His own
Yeah,
underwear.
it would be like a
His own
Ronaldo
underwear brand.
advent calendar or something.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Every picture is just a
I'm like-
picture of him. Just every single one. Just
He,
a picture of
yeah,
him.
he probably gets some of the most boring stuff. Like, I wouldn't be worried at all.
Fucking United away calendar with Wayne Rooney scribbled out of it.
Honestly. And we need to have this
Learn inside
debate
the
about
lines.
the greatest player. I would allow you guys to call him the greatest goal scorer, but this greatest player ever, nah.
Nah, he's still the
I
greatest.
mean,
player,
it's
but-
probably not. Listen
The
to me.
greatest
It's probably the
goal scorer.
perfect time for you to have this debate because Ronaldo is in a lot of fucking shade right now. So
Yeah.
it's easier for people to criticize him. I'll let the dust settle from this Ronaldo thing, and then we can certainly have the GOAT conversation because I think it's going to be tarnished. Opinions are going to be tarnished because of what he's just come out. People are like, fuck him. I'm not asked. You can go 10th on the list. Fucking Braithwaite's better than Ronaldo for all I give a shit at the minute.
He's still number 4. Yeah.
Number 4.
Still number 4.
He's still number 4.
Right. Let's get into the reaction from Man United then. So there's a couple of reports coming out from James Ducko, Romano, and a few others. So Eric Ten Hag and United's hierarchy will hold talks today, obviously meaning Monday, as they decide what to do with Cristiano Ronaldo. Eric Ten Hag is absolutely furious, not happy with Ronaldo's words. He was not expecting him to go there and say them things. That's from Romano. Cristiano Ronaldo set to be fined at least, I think them words at least are important, £1 million for deciding to give an interview with Piers Morgan. Word reached the club via Ronaldo's camp that he had given an interview of such magnitude when the squad was preparing to fly back after last night's win over Fulham. And United management and players don't understand why Ronaldo has said what he has said. They're hugely disappointed that he would disrespect the club, his manager, and his teammates in this way. That's from Sky Cafe. So how do United survey? Go on, Sam.
They have released a statement, the club. It doesn't say much, but I'll just read it out. The club will consider its response after full facts have been established. Our focus remains on preparing for the second half of the season and continuing the momentum, belief, togetherness being built among the players, manager, staff, and fans. That's what they've released. So,
how do you manage a survey going forward if you're the manager?
So, according to what you said, they got the news when they were preparing to fly back from the game at Fulham. Yeah. Now, when I watched the Fulham press conference after the game, I've never seen Ten Hag so animated. Like, this is the first, like, he was smiling. The first question they asked him was about Garnacho. He was like, he was really, and then he said lots of times, just go back and watch the post-match interview later. He says there's a togetherness in the team. This is a team that fights for each other. Mm-hmm. He was basically just talking about the team spirit and how the team is together in this, and because he was then also referring to how we came back from a goal down and walked the ball up So obviously because we know he's not one of them ones. He's not very expressive, Ten Hag, especially with the press. He's always giving like one word answers. So being so expressive, you could tell that this guy was really moved by that performance, and then to hear that on your way back after, of course it would be deflating, but I think it will make the team bond closer. I think this is a topic that the fans wouldn't be too divided, wouldn't be too divided on. I think majority of the Manchester United fans would be sort of united behind the squad, the manager. There's a togetherness. I don't think this is going to like split the dressing room. There's going to be like a Ronaldo faction or whatever. And funny enough, I saw that Ronaldo is no longer following Garnacho. Now, I don't know whether it's because he did the Messi celebration, but Ronaldo isn't following him anymore on Instagram. Like there was a fan who went to check, and Ronaldo has unfollowed Garnacho. So I don't think it's going to split the dressing room. I think everyone is going to be united behind the manager. not just the players, the staff, but like the fans as well. So and so far, Erik ten Hag has had a very, very good track record of handling players with the Maguire situation. But everything that was thrown at him in terms of management, not just coaching, like managing the team, this passed with flying colours. So I'm really confident. I'm not worried at all. I'm very confident that this is not going to like derail him. And I think it actually plays into his hands, because if indeed Ronaldo was on his plans, this is the best way for him to say, listen, guys, he goes to the board and says, the guy doesn't even want to be here. And it just makes his job a lot more easier. The quicker he goes, but say he gets to leave in January, Ten Hag gets his striker, maybe we get Cody, we get Memphis. It's plain sailing. I think Ten Hag is pragmatic. I think he'll look to the positives.
Is it just as easy as that, though, to kind of dust your hands and terminate the contract? And because of everything, I know this interview is a massive breaking point and he probably won't come back, but is it just as easy as United to go, right, terminate contracts in a bit?
If you do mutual termination, like if they both agree to a set payout or whatever it is, obviously it's not going to be his full contract, because why would they at this point? But they'll come to an agreement of like, all right, you pay me this much, we go, you go, and then that's the end of it. I don't think they'll pay him out of his full contract.
You know what's funny? Just very one quick thing. What Piers Morgan said was, you're probably going to ask this question or something. But Piers Morgan said something about Ronaldo contacted him and said, let's do the thing, and then he says Piers Morgan to release the interview just before they go for the World Cup break. So it was planned to release it then, so that he goes away, he's away from it for like a month, and then they can come back and resolve things. I think he's a little bit delusional. I think he thinks, we could come back and talk about this. I'm not sure, but from what Piers Morgan said, was like Ronaldo thinks, he can go away, let everything simmer down, come back and resolve this. I don't know what resolve this means.
Yeah. So. Aaron, did you want to come in then and say something?
Seen on Twitter, I don't know how reliable the source was, but like Adam alluded to before, with managers that aren't allowed to say things when they've gone, that Ronaldo has broken that in his contract, so that there could be a termination with no payout because he's breached his contract. But for me, if I was in Ten Hag's shoes, how I'd deal with it is I'd probably just let him. I wouldn't even sell him. I wouldn't terminate his contract. I'd just let him rot. I wouldn't even play him, man. I'd just say, right, for 6 months now, you're just not doing nothing.
Oh. And you think right now he's going to Piers Morgan and the Sun. Imagine what he does if he's got to sit in the resis for fucking 6 months. He's probably
Let him cry like a baby. Daily Star exclusive interview.
I mean, Adam, go on.
I was just going to say, Phil Jones has been treated a lot worse.
Every show, everybody get your fucking scoreboards up. There we go, Adam mentioning Phil Jones. There we go. Fucking Jesus.
I had to get the full house. Bingo.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
He was banished from the squad. His locker was removed from Carrington, and then you have this guy coming here. If we have to terminate his contract and give the full payout, okay, I'd rather let him rot in the reserves.
It's funny making a case for Phil Jones. You got Phil Jones and Ronaldo. It's just
Adam, I'm not making that thumbnail. I'm not putting Phil Jones and fucking Ronaldo on this thumbnail.
Phil Jones was a bad boy. So should Ronaldo. Is the potential of this getting even more ugly with lawsuits, etc. and stuff? Obviously, when the World Cup finishes, I don't know what Bruno and Dallo and these guys are going to be thinking. They're obviously going to have to play with him with Portugal in Qatar. Is there any potential for this to get even more ugly, especially with these like extra interviews on the Wednesday and Thursday? If they're, like Survey said, 90 minutes, how much worse can this get?
I'm just thinking it could be pushed to current players in the squad. I think Harry Maguire is going to have a say. They have to touch on club captain. That's going to come up. The Glazers are going to come up. Obviously, more about the facilities and that. Sir Alex Ferguson will probably have a chunk of the interview talking about that. The City move, and then he could potentially talk about.
Roy Keane will defend him, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Yeah,
because he did the exact same thing basically when
Yeah.
he did that on MUTV, called them on out. They did it to him. It's in a bit. Goodbye.
That's true. Yeah. I didn't think of it that way, but that interview never saw the light of day. It didn't, and I think this probably should have been an interview that didn't see the light of day too. Resolve it behind the scenes. Don't put it like all your bad. What's the saying?
Don't
your
air
bad
your
wash
dirty
on
laundry.
show, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, your dirty laundry. Don't put it all on show.
Yeah.
And he's doing exactly that. I think it could get messier, and I think it's going to be a messy month. It's going to be.
He's
the
doing
talk of the
puns and he
World Cup
doesn't
now.
even
It's all on him.
realize.
No, he don't even know.
He doesn't even know the puns he's doing.
No, don't even know.
No, anybody at all. Yeah, it's all the world's attention is on him now, going into this World Cup. There's no player anyone else is talking about, Messi or anything. It's his last World Cup. Oh, and now all this drama with Man United. So all the spotlight's on him, and he's fucking loving it. It's all me with him. It's never about the team. That's why he fucked off when he was asked to come on against Spurs.
Well,
he didn't give a shit about the team.
When he left in 2008, he did an interview, didn't he? And he said he was being treated like a slave before he went to Real Madrid. So he's got a history. He's got a prior of this shit. Like, he's done it before. So it's not like this guy, we don't know who this guy is. Like, he's the best player in the world because of his ego, the way he's driven to be the best in the world. So if he thinks he's being slighted or put down in a way, he's gonna blow that up and let the world know, because that's who he is. That's just who this guy is.
Yeah. Can I just say as well, Rio Ferdinand, right, was moaning at Ralph Rangnick for quote unquote airing dirty laundry or whatever. And then as soon as Ronaldo goes and does it, one of his mates, he comes out and defends him. I don't know if any of you have seen the Vibe with Five this morning, but he's just pure defending him, saying, well, I think the club should have been better with communication, and I think they should have been better with this, blah, blah, blah. And it's just like, again, I've called this out so many times, like, people defending the mates, defending the bot, and just not doing the jobs as pundits on live TV. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous. I think Severe wanted to say something then, but he's disconnected or gone somewhere. So
Ronaldo's paying the Russians.
Gone. Yeah.
Can you just imagine, Aaron, what that first press conference is going to be like when Ten Hag gets back? Because you know every single question is going to be about Ronaldo, innit?
I think he'll handle it. He's handled everything perfect so far. I don't think he's going to be fazed by it. I think this is not best case scenario for Ten Hag, but I think it's kind of played into his hands, because if he didn't want him, he's got the perfect reason now, and Ten Hag doesn't look like the bad guy at all. He's done nothing wrong.
What's a realistic thing when we get back? We're playing Nottingham Forest on the 27th, and then we get into January. Is it realistic that he goes? Like, how will it happen? But what other club will come in for him at this point? I don't. What club will look at him right now? What sane club manager, whatever, will look at this situation and like, yeah, we'll take a punt on him. He scored 1 goal this season. He's on 375k a week, and he's kicked up the biggest force in football history.
If it's the termination of the contract, teams will, I think, because he's still Cristiano Ronaldo. He holds the name, holds weight on it. So I do feel teams will take a punt on him. Just in shirt sales and everything, he's an asset in it. So he will. He'll get another club, and he could go like Italy, something like that, where he'll score goals. But I don't think any serious team, I'm talking like Real Madrid, PSG, Barcelona, I don't think any serious team will go for him. Sorry if my audio's gone bad as well. My AirPods have died. So.
Oh, it's all right. It's all right.
Nick, can we just take a break 1 second while I sort this video out, because Survey's dropped off, so I can't see everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give us 1 minute,
seconds,
guys.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
You're on mute, so you're all right. So.
Fair, we're on a break at the minute. We put the starting screen up, so we're not live.
I forgot to put it up.
Did it?
No, I got it. I had to mute and then switch, and then but I've gone over now. So I had to mute then switch over. But We ready? We ready? Okay.
Right, we're back, guys. Apologies about that. Just there's some technical issues, which we've obviously managed to sort now. Just the last bit, fellas, on Ronaldo. Give us your overall summary, the quotes that have come out, how you handle the situation going forward. What happens during the World Cup with Ronaldo, and what you do if you're Ten Hag when he comes back. Sam, I'll go to you first.
I mean, I don't think he plays for United again, Ronaldo. I think he's done. They'll find a way. I don't know whether they loan him and they pay his wages to somebody, or they terminate his contract, mutual termination. So there has to be a way around it. Like Aaron said, maybe there's a legal thing in Preston because he spoke about stuff. Maybe they can terminate that. I'm not sure. But there's in no planet or universe can he play for the club again after what he said. So there has to be a way around it. And I think Ten Hag will be the same. He'll be like, look, he's disrespected the club and he's spoken about things that shouldn't be spoken about. And we will move on and we will continue playing as a team. That's what Ten Hag will say in public. I'm sure United will release a statement saying we have chosen to move on from Cristiano Ronaldo, blah, blah, blah. Ronaldo will release his own spin, do whatever he wants to do. Things will move on. He's left before. He's going to leave again. And we'll be better for it, I think. I think we'll be able to build a team. As long as Ten Hag stays around, I think we'll be better for it. It's unfortunate that it's come to this. That's
it really is. It really is.
It's a sad thing that it's come to this. We could have dealt with this in the summer. We could have, if Joe Glazer, I believe he was the one who stepped in, didn't he, and stopped this from happening, because I believe Ten Hag said
that was one of the reports, yeah.
Ten Hag said he could go, Ronaldo wanted to go, and then Joe Glazer stepped in. We could have just avoided all this if they just went.
But I don't think any clubs are in for him.
No, I understand, but if he doesn't want to be at the club, find a solution. Just find, loan him, release him, whatever you need to do. Just, he doesn't want to be here. And anybody has seen it. When a player doesn't want to be at a club, they cause fucking havoc. They will cause issues. They will cause problems for the manager, for the team, for the fans, for everybody. And when you've got the biggest player on the planet at your team and he doesn't want to be there, it's gonna be this. So it could have been avoided so easily. So
the last side question for you as well, Sam. I'll ask the other lads this: has his legacy been tarnished at Manchester United, in your opinion?
No. I think he's tarnished. He's put a bit of a sort of slight shade on it with what's happened here, but what he's done before, I don't think you can touch that. For me, he was never a United legend. He was a Real Madrid legend. He did.
Not a United legend.
No. He doesn't get a statue. He doesn't get a statue.
Yeah, but not everyone has to have a statue. We've got legends who haven't got statues at the club.
No.
Ryan Giggs hasn't got a statue.
Yeah, but that's because of his personal circumstance, not because. Yeah, exactly.
Well, Nick, what makes him a legend?
The guy won a Champions League with us. He scored 40-odd goals in a season.
How many did he do for Real Madrid? How many did he win for Real Madrid? How many?
Yeah, of course. He's a legend at Real Madrid as well.
No, but he's a Real Madrid legend. He's not a United legend. He's not.
This shirt here, you see this shirt here? What he did in this shirt in that season, that is legendary shit. What he did for Manchester United. That makes him a legend in my book.
It wasn't just him.
No, of course not. But you can say that about any other team, about Real Madrid. Or Benzema's a legend, yeah, but not just him, because he had Courtois and he had Modric and he had Cruz.
No. Yeah, I think. But anyway, I think this is a discussion for another.
Yeah. In my opinion, he's a Madrid legend. He's not a United legend. He did great things for Man United, no doubt. Won trophies, record goal scorer, Ballon d'Ors, lit up. He's one of the best young players I've ever seen play for United, up till Garnacho recently. I'm joking, by the way. I'm joking.
Garnacho.
Yeah. He's done great things for Manchester United, but he's a bigger legend for Real Madrid. He's a Real Madrid legend in my eyes. That's my opinion. I'm sure other people will disagree.
He had 2 blistering seasons at Manchester United. Yeah. That was it. The season before was the first time he scored 20 goals ever for Manchester United. The season before the last one. So it wasn't like he'd been coming in and
And he
scoring
wanted
tons of goals.
the season
Remember,
before. He wanted to leave the
Yeah.
season before he left. Like he asked to leave.
Yeah. So
Yeah, sorry, Wayne Rooney,
Ferguson
but he's
bet-
still a legend.
Yeah, but I don't think Wayne Rooney's a legend either. So
What? Are you fucking
he
mad?
didn't want to be at
What?
United. He wanted to leave.
Oh.
He wanted to
You
leave.
don't think Wayne Rooney is a
No.
legend of Manchester
No.
United?
He wanted to leave.
This right.
Sam, come on.
He wanted to
I
leave.
can't.
He wanted to go to
Listen,
Chelsea. He
listen,
wanted to go to Chelsea. Like, how can you be a
Well,
legend?
He
at
wanted,
United?
he wanted to go Man City.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how can you want to go Man City and be a United legend? Like,
What do you
Right.
mean? Dennis Law played for Man City. He's got a statue outside Old Trafford.
Yeah,
I didn't watch Dennis Law, so I can't really I can't comment. Do you know what I mean? Like, I can't.
Relegate us?
Sorry?
Didn't Dennis Law relegate us as well?
No, he scored in that game, I think, but that's not the thing that relegated us. I'm pretty sure that was like a
Alright.
thing. Yeah. But look, we can have a goal
let's keep that
conversation
going.
for another
Yeah,
day,
yeah.
and we can have Legends of United conversation for another day. Adam, just the last thing, and then I'll get on to Severe and Aaron as well. Full 90-minute interview dropping on Wednesday. From what you've seen so far, where's your head at now? What happens?
Just looking into it, what we're expecting to see is probably more talk about the owners, hopefully. If you're to look at the positives, hopefully it shows, like, not the people kind of necessarily like working with the squad, but more so the facilities, the lack of development in the stadium, the training ground, and I'm sure he's all aware of it. He was talking about it. I'm trying to think of positives that you can potentially take for it. I'm just trying to think, what can he fit into that 90 minutes? Because it's a long time it is to be talking to someone, especially Piers Morgan. That hour and a half must feel like fucking a day, if I'm being honest. Yeah. But do I think it's going to ruin his legacy too? We got to wait and see till after. Depends what he says. Is he, taking a pop at people running the club, or is it taking a whole like massive turd on the actual club itself?
Was that third or turd? I just want to clarify.
Turd,
Okay.
a turd, a giant shit.
Okay.
But to put it like, there is a lot of Ronaldo FC fans fans.
Oh,
that just,
mate, we saw it last
the
night on
player.
Nick's stream. They were fucking everywhere. It was just insane.
We did. And to say it like this, Manchester United were around over 100 years before Ronaldo, and they'll be 100 years and longer after he's in the ground,
Ronaldo.
as harsh as that sounds. But that's how it is. No player's bigger than the club,
Nope.
and if you're not happy, fuck off.
Yep.
Fair enough. Aaron, Eric Ten Hag, the future. I know Ronaldo made some legitimate points in the interview about the facility standards, etc. But Ten Hag is addressing issues currently right now. We've got a young prospect in Alejandro Garnacho. It looks very exciting. I don't want to compare him to Ronaldo, but he's got that kind of bright spark about him. He's bringing in good players. Are you happy to move forward now with Ten Hag and kind of just completely forget the Ronaldo situation as much as we can?
It's simple, man. Ten Hag's the future United. Ronaldo's not. It's as simple as that. I think, just cut all ties now, get it all done, move forward with the rebuild, because Ten Hag's the man for the job. We all know it. We can all see it. So, yeah man.
If Ronaldo didn't disrespect Ten Hag and just came out for the board and the club, Severe, would you have a different take on this, and would you approach it a bit more with, what's the word I'm looking for? A bit more with caution rather than sort of going into it, or going in at him?
It's all about the delivery and the context in which he would have done it. So even if you criticize Ten Hag, there's a way you'd go about it, But it's the way he said it. I think it's the way he delivered it, like without any. There was a bit of venom, the way he said all these things.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. I mean, there's even some of the best coaches still have their, they still follow with players. They have players who criticize them and all that. And it's one of those things, but it's just the way he's gone around. It's just the way he's done it. That's kind of, that's pissed everyone off.
Roy Keane still hates Fergie, doesn't he? Like he still wants an apology. He still wants an
I
apology.
was about to say that. I bet if you asked Roy Keane if he respects Alex Ferguson, the manager, he would probably deep down have respect. I'm sure he said on the Monday Night Football, Jamie Carragher, he said like I respect him as a manager and that. but not as a person.
Yeah.
But to say I don't respect him like straight up.
Yeah. So I think it leaves a bad taste, whether or not it tarnishes his image. I don't know, but it leaves a bad taste in the mouth for fans, especially fans who have a genuine love for him. And I understand the fans who are really into him, especially the ones from my generation, because we were the ones who really got to see this guy. So I understand that, but yeah, it leaves a bad taste, and it doesn't do him any favors either, because if he's trying to find another club, other clubs are going to sit back and look and be like, yo, if we sign this guy, this is he has the potential to do this to us as well. He has the potential to disrespect our club if things don't go his way. So he's actually not doing himself any favors here. So if there was anyone in Europe who was toying with the idea, maybe if Chelsea, if Todd Boehly was toying with the idea of actually buying him, right now, and I don't think anyone would be inclined to do that. Everyone would kind of be a lot more cautious towards Cristiano Ronaldo than getting him. And as well, it's not a secret. Even the fans, the Portuguese fans, are getting tired of him in terms of like how they play, and they think he's becoming a problem. So he's put himself under immense pressure because this World Cup is literally his last dance. Like if he fucks this World Cup up,
Yeah,
like if
imagine.
he doesn't perform, he's done. Because even the Portuguese fans are losing patience with him. So he hasn't done himself any favors coming out to say things, what he said. I mean, we had loads of protests. Nobody is blind to the fact that the Glazers are shit. So we already know that. He's not telling us anything new. So even if he comes out and gives an interview, like, okay, this is stuff we already know. You're singing to the choir. We know this.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's up to him now.
Does it hold weight that a current player, obviously a current player, is coming out and saying them things, and put it out to a wider scale rather than the fans, and the fans might just, because we always get that same thing. United fans are only protesting because they're not winning.
This is why a lot of fans actually loved Ralph Rangnick, because I was having this argument with some people who were saying, I was my Arsenal friends, and I was saying to them that this is why we're so much behind Rangnick. Then was the first time we're hearing someone inside the club actually criticize the club, all the commotion that all the shortcomings of the club we'd heard about was in the press, but we hadn't seen anyone within the club say this.
The only one who's actually come out and said it is Gary Neville. He's the only former player who's come out.
Yeah, but from the outside.
Something. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's as close as we've got.
That's the closest we've got.
Somebody connected to the club coming out and going, these are like, they need to go, they need to sell, they need to leave. Yeah. He's the only one. So yeah, I agree with Aaron's point. Like if Ronaldo, a current player, comes out and says it, names, like goes Joe Glazer, like all that, that holds a lot of weight.
That balances the scales a bit, slightly.
Yeah.
I think.
I don't know, because there's a lot of things that have been said, but I think we should all just wait and see what happens. Let's watch the thing. But just to touch on what Adam said as well, I think it was Adam who said about no players bigger than. Yeah, Manchester United was here 100 years before, and he'll be here 100 years after. It just reminded me of when Beckham was leaving in 2003, and I honestly did not know what the future was like. To me, like David Beckham was like this. Like, what are we going to do tomorrow when we wake up and he's not here? Like, I thought like it was over. And seeing him, because I remember seeing an advert with him wearing the Real Madrid jersey during the summer, and I was just like, I can't see how. Yeah, and then it was fine. He was gone, and that was it. So we will move on. I don't think Ronaldo is more iconic to Manchester United than David Beckham, because then, like, Beckham was Mr. Manchester United.
We've lost massive players. Like, we've lost
Cantona,
massive players.
We've moved on.
Stam,
Yeah.
Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Paul Scholes,
Rude
Van Nistelrooy, Rooney.
Yeah.
Like, we've lost them all. We've lost them all.
Yeah.
Like, we've lost amazing players, and we've always been fine. We've always kept going. So, and we will. After Ronaldo, it'll carry on.
I think it would have hurt a lot more after the first season, obviously scoring 20+ goals, and then he leaves. The shit that we was in. But now Ten Hag's in, he's building a future. You've got Ronaldo here as kind of the ghost of United's past, trying to ruin the present. But Ten Hag is ultimately our future. And I think it would have been much easier if Ronaldo went in the summer, so none of this would have happened. Was obviously a great player for us, but it's just not the right time. Wrong person at the wrong club at the minute and just needs to leave. I think there's a lot of fans that kind of agree on that. But thank you to Ronaldo for highlighting the issues. I know we already knew a lot of the issues, but I think if he does go in on the Glazers, especially in this 90-minute interview on Wednesday, Thursday, thank you for highlighting that. But I don't appreciate the tantrum that is kind of dragged with him, calling out the likes of Ragnick, Bruna, and these kind of guys. So yeah. It's going to be interesting this week. We'll obviously be covering the interview that he does do on Wednesday and Thursday. Loads of stuff with the World Cup. Yeah, it's a busy week. And of course, we'll have content every single day. Make sure you smash a like on the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel for more wonderful content like this. Check us out on socials. And if you want to donate to our Movember campaign, the link is in the bio. Yeah, I think that's everything.
In the description.
Yeah, in the description as well. So take care, guys. Thank you to the lads for coming on. Really appreciate your time and analysis. And yeah, I'm sure we'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care of yourselves. Peace.